Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 198, The Long March. That has several connotations to it. This, I don't know about anybody else, but March felt like it took forever this year. February flew by, and March took forever. It was crazy. Um, but we ended it with a grand time in Independence, Missouri at March to Victory, where we got to play some What a Tanker. We got to play some um, uh, Bogies Inbound. We got to play some uh, Fistful of Lead, um, Victorian Sci-Fi. We got to play some 30 Hairs War. Um, Other games were got to sing to Bismarck, and I got photos of most everything, so we'll be sharing those here in a little bit. Let's take a look who's in the texture here. Telemachus is in the house. Says you might be a gamer if you think prison is only the second place where bathing is optional. Yeah, no, bathing is not optional. Not in the slightest. Charles is here saying, Mr. T, what is bathing? You're killing me. You're killing me. Meandering Mike, come to the show. Bathing is optional only if you're a hermit. We got Chris Long, Hey-o. Scala Gremlin from the same neck of the woods, kind of, saying, hey, all. And, of course, we've got a McMurray now. How are you?
What's up, everybody?
Charles says, Reese, no tornadoes near you?
Not today. Other side of the state.
We were in a tornado watch for a while today, but we actually never got the bad weather. Most of that was to the west and north of us. And Bunkhouse is in the house. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Doug? Hey, I made it to the show again, finally. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to see you. So, of course, if you want to play a great game, you want to head on over to wiley-games.com. Pick up your copy of Fistful of Lead, Glorious Adventures in the Age of Steam. It's 3 books in one, as you may or may not know. You've got your standard game of Fistful of Lead. You also have flying battleships and vehicles. So it's quite a good game, all in all. And of course, you've got the bigger battles component. Reese and I played this. Reese's guys were MVPs, yo. He obliterated a unit of unicycle Ulans with lances, with his British bearskin troops. Had the big bearskin hats. So
they made the mistake of giving me a defensive line and some artillery, and I held it.
Exactly. Percy's here. How you doing, Perce? Good evening, fine gentry of the miniature battlefield. And then I'll only share my roasted garlic butter salmon with cauliflower mash with those that bathe. Yes, definitely. You can keep the cauliflower mash though. Ugh. I don't mind the garlic butter salmon, but yeah, the cauliflower mash, no thanks. And Charles doesn't like the fish, so we're all good there. The other thing you definitely want to do is head on over to Geek Gaming Scenics, geekgamingusa.com for Geek Gaming Scenics base ready material and the ever popular fast drying basing glue. Pick up both to make your lousy miniatures look good, your good miniatures look great, and your great miniatures look amazing. As we can see here with Baze from Rogue One. He's not the greatest miniature in the world, but that base really makes him look great. So, head on over there. Let McMurray know you did it, that you ordered, and he might surprise you and give you something, a cool note, or who knows.
Makes
there
these
you
guys
go.
look outstanding. Hang on.
Yeah, let's. Yes, boys and girls, that is a Hormagaunt.
It's a very blurry one, evidently.
Yeah,
Oh well.
it looks good. Believe me.
So
Skelgrim says, "Don't like salmon. It's okay, Charles. It's 2025. I support your choice to be wrong." Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Reese McMurray and I all attended March to Victory and had a grand old time. I only ran one game this time around. McMurray ended up doing what, 4 or 5 total games?
Yeah, depending on how many times, but like 3 of them were pretty short.
Yeah.
I think 5 and 3 of them were pretty short. Yeah.
So, and then Reese, you ran what, 3, 4?
2.
No. You did the 2. You did the B-25s twice.
Yep.
And
We shoot at 3.
The MiGs.
Man, I'm so hopped up on cough syrup right now. I can't do
That's
that.
okay. That's okay. So, but there was a lot of gaming going on.
I kind of
Also
was also half asleep during that third game.
Yeah.
So,
and that's okay. Reese has been fighting, whether it's a cold or flu or allergies or what have you. He's been valiantly fighting it off.
we'll call it plague.
Yeah. But he's here tonight, and that's appreciated. So, I have to say, all the games that I played were quite fun. I really liked the March Hares to Victory. Both of those scenarios were quite fun. I played the rabbits in one, and I played the humans in the other. The humans got their clocks cleaned that second game, man. They got my sheriff. Gesundheit. My sheriff went striding into the field, and these rabbits came charging out at him, and he was dead like in 2 turns. It was a mess.
I got really good dice rolls. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So we did light a couple of the hare huts on fire. We did save the 2 monks that had been abducted, but we lost a lot of dudes. A lot of guys fell to the spears and the arrows and the swords of the rabbits. So, excuse me.
Those fuzzy little bastards.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go bring up the. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the pictures. And So this is the first picture here is of my units for the bigger battles Age of Steam game. We had Colonel Francois Fromage, a Mark I impervious suit, some French Marines, some French soldiers, and the L'Arcane Spider. It was a pretty good little fight we had. There's my battle suit there. There's Francois himself. Right over here on the far left, this was the defensive line that Reese had set up, and you can see that these are the unicycle Ulans that just got obliterated by him. Then just showing you kind of what the card for him looks like. This was the one of the games that McMurray put on. It was a Sink the Bismarck, and he modified it from being a solo game. What's the name of that one?
Hang on just a sec. It's a modified version of Torpedo Raiders by Minden Games.
Okay.
It's a really fun game to play solo, and it is also a really fun game to play cooperatively with your buddies.
Yeah, we had a really good time with it. I actually played the second game. The first game apparently took like 10 minutes.
Yeah, Ken and Chad kind of just rolled in, and Ken Boone rolled in and just absolutely wrecked face with a crushing torpedo hit, and then Chad batted cleanup pretty well to take care of all that nonsense. And then you guys did well also. I mean,
yeah.
That's the wild thing. I don't know that I've ever played that game, and so ordinarily when you play solo, you take one swordfish in at a time.
Right.
And you've got 9 for that initial attack on the Bismarck by 825 Squadron before Formidable had to get pulled out. And I have never won that game in the first 5 planes, or the first 4 planes like you guys did each time.
Yeah. So it was quite fun. And there's your swordfish there.
Yep.
Now, where did you come by these swordfish? Are these Gukek?
No,
swordfish?
I don't remember if those are Pico or Tumbling Dice, to be honest with you, but they are metal. They're one of those 2 companies.
They look more like Pico to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, they looked great.
I've got a great big mix of both of those companies' figures, so it makes it a little more difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
That is a Tamiya 1700 Bismarck.
Which looked really good.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot. You did a great job. Here's my What a Tanker game that I set up. We played. It was just two players that I had. They had never played the game before. In fact, they'd never played a Two Fat Lardies game before.
Oh wow!
So they had a lot of questions about Two Fat Lardy games in general, but they did a pretty good job. You can see here towards the upper center, a Panzer IV got its top blown off by this M4 here, and then we had a Lorraine 150 or Lorraine 15 or something to that effect. Basically, it was a Lorraine tractor, French tractor, that
the Jerry's put a 15 centimeter infantry gun on.
Yeah,
or 6-inch infantry gun.
yeah. It was, but it was a glass tiger, man. Yeah, it had a strike of 12, but it only had a 3 armor. So, but he got really lucky on his armor save rolls because he lasted 3 or 4 rounds of that M4 shooting at him.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's
Yeah,
wild.
he got really lucky. So,
Hey, that
but
happens.
they enjoyed it a lot. They're probably gonna pick it up. They're also probably gonna look at picking up Chain of Command also. So
I actually just talked. I think we're playing What a Cowboy next Tuesday with my local group,
oh, cool.
which
You'll
should
need
be
to let
quite
us know
fun.
how that goes. So yeah, here's another picture of the dead Panzer IV and the M4 in the back, and then there's that Lorraine there. Now, was that 3D printed for you?
I did 3D print that. It is to
That's-
scale also. That is a tiny vehicle.
Yeah, it is super small. I mean that's it's like a VW Bug with a howitzer on it.
Yeah, it's essentially the size of like an Italian L33, just about.
Mhm.
Because it really is. It's a 2-man artillery ammunition tractor that the Germans decided, you know what, if we can put, howitzers and anti-tank guns on top of Panzer 1 and 2 chassis, let's just put them on anything.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was one of the Baukommando Becker improvisations.
And here are some of the March Hares.
Yeah.
You did a great job on them, man.
Beautiful figures from Tommy.
Yeah, Thomas Foss designed these, got them sculpted. Head on over to Skull and Crown Stratagem. Just Google Skull and Crown Stratagem, and it'll get you to his website where you can pick these guys up. They're quite nice. Now, the humans were not from Thomas.
No, those are a mix of Old Glory. The 2 guys carrying the treasure chest are Reaper, and most of the monks are Gripping Beast, although 3 of them, the 3 leaders, were V&V miniatures that I got from Carl Merritt when he used to carry those.
Yeah. But the table looked good. I really liked the stands of trees, and you can see the rabbits were just wrecking house.
Yeah.
They were brutal with those bows because the regular rabbits with the regular bows all had deft, so they could just shoot turn after turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, I did change that away from, or to where they can only shoot once per turn, because theoretically, as the rules are written, you could just shoot twice in one turn. But that was exceedingly cruel for the humans, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would have been bad news.
So we changed that to you can shoot twice, or you can shoot without having to reload, essentially, because def removes one action required from a reload.
Right.
But you still can't shoot twice in one turn. Kind of like, close combat.
Right.
It just gets altogether icky.
Exactly.
But
So, and here's rabbit with a big ass sword going up against a monk. Most of the rabbits were set up as grunt groups, but each team had a leader and a specialist,
yeah,
and then 3 grunt groups. So
it really adds a tough dimension, because grunts are, people poo-poo the grunt groups all the time, right? Because they're not big, angry, punchy units. But damn, especially when they're shooting,
Mhm.
It's tough to fight them.
Yes, it is.
Well, and they're deadly in close combat too, because you basically get 3 attacks.
You do.
Right.
It's kind of like most games with big stuff where you're just waiting for that opponent to not roll well.
Yep.
And then, especially if that opponent doesn't have something that will negate being outnumbered, then you really do. It's because once you start getting outnumbered in fistful of lead in close combat, it's really not great. Most systems are like that, but all of a sudden you can really just start laying in with the hits and the shock.
And if you're not afraid to lose them, you can throw them out there and set up your line
Yep.
and hold things in place for your ranged units to pick them off too.
Oh yeah, big time.
So
Yep. So here we've got a rabbit beating the crap out of a monk.
Yeah, that was one of the leaders for the first game, and then an objective in the second game. You can also see some of the dogs Thomas has done for his line,
Yep.
which are pretty cool figures. You got a winged dog, a little hound, and then a dog that kind of reminds me of like a Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's got the green green cap.
Yeah.
So and here's just rabbits going ham on the monks here. These spear rabbits are grunts, and then these two are the two big sword wielding rabbits are leaders from 2 different groups. You have looks like Pearl and Granite here.
I would assume so. Yeah, light gray and dark gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got one rabbit. Who is the brown rabbit?
Hazel.
Yeah, Hazel. Yeah. So
yeah. I just kind of color code the rabbits. It makes everything a little easier for everybody.
Now here's Reese's game. We had B-25s coming in to skip bomb a couple of Japanese destroyers. We had P-39s and P-40s flying cover for the B-25s, and then we had KI-85s and some A6M Zeros, and what was the other KI?
44s.
K-44s, yeah.
And some KI-61s. I threw a bunch of them on there.
Yeah, just, and in the first game of this, somebody took a KI, I think it was a KI-44, straight onto a B-25 that was flinging, I think he flung
14.
He didn't have the turret gun?
He shot the top guns elsewhere.
Okay.
He didn't.
So he would have only shot 13 dice because you're -1 on head-to-head.
Not on bombers.
Oh, that's right. Not on bombers. Yeah. So he had 14. Yeah.
Although I'll tell you this, he only rolled 11 dice and then went to roll the others, looked down and went, nah.
Yeah, I don't need them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did not fare well for that KI-44 in any way, shape, or form. Here's a good shot of the parrot head that Reese painted on these things. Keep in mind, guys, these are 1/600th scale. So I would be hard pressed to even do that on 1/300th. So,
the posts there are the tiny little Lego cylinders for scale.
Yeah. To give you an idea, those are 1x1 full-sized barrels for Lego, and then there's a metal nail that slides down in the top there, and then a magnet on top. And this is how we were able to figure elevation. So for every 5th Lego is going to be a black one. So this was at altitude band 8. This one is at altitude band 9. And so we came up with this, or Reese had come up with this back in December, and he was going to use just pipe cleaners on the top, but the pipe cleaners just weren't strong enough for the magnets to hold on to, and they were a little wobbly on the bottom with just the poker chips. So when he came up for CJ3 in January, we did a little exploring at the lumberyard, picked up the washers, picked up the nails, and we solidified this thing up right nice. And I think it makes for a good way to put those planes out there. It's quite ingenious, I think, Reese.
I feel like we could have gotten more planes on that table.
Oh, we absolutely could.
It almost felt like there was too little planes.
Yeah. So,
I think everybody running 3 or 4 can be about the max.
yeah.
Right, but some people only had like 2. That was my
Correct. I
my
ran
thing.
2 planes several times, which is
Yeah.
fair.
The P-39s were nice. I liked the P-39s, and I think that's one of the KI.
It's one too many P's.
That's one of my zeros,
Oh, that's a
think.
0? Okay.
I think.
So, not as good of a photo as I had hoped for. That one did not turn out good at all. There we go. There's another shot of that. This is a different parrot head, but again, quite nicely done. Quite
Thank
nicely
you.
done.
Thank you.
Just delightfully painted.
And here are the Japanese destroyers. Those were contributed by McMurray. Now I was running the green ones here. One of the other guys was running the silver ones. And actually, that was for the first game. That was for the first game. I didn't play in that one. Now here is the second game of. No, this is still the first game of the rabbits, and you can
Still
see
first.
that, we see that the rabbits are still kicking the crap out of the humans.
Yeah, that mounted knight was the human reinforcements. Never did find his card, Sir Reginald, for after that first game. But yeah, he kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah. Now here's the second. This is the game that I think I got into, and I was running the silver ones. Yeah, I was running the silver ones.
Yeah, because this is a game I got to play as the Corsairs.
Yeah. He also Reese also did the bat face, not just the parrot heads, but also the bat one as well. So again, just really nicely done. Charles says very excellent, Reese.
At that scale, you're just painting what the impression of something looks like. You
Exactly.
don't worry too much about it.
Exactly.
So
Now here, this is about the time when the speed of the B-25s is only 3 hexes, but if you drop 1 altitude level, you get to move forward 1 hex for free. So and you drop the bomb as you cross over the ship. So I could drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So that gave me 9 hexes I could drop. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only needed to drop down to like level 3 to get there. Now the thing is, with the rules that how Reese has got them, for if you drop more than or 3 or more altitude levels in a single turn, you have to roll a pilot check. Basically, don't roll a 1. And I was able to accomplish that and dropped 4 bombs. 3 of them went boom in a very big way. The bombs could do between 1 and 100 points of damage, and each ship was worth 100 points. And yeah, it fall down, go boom. It was quite fun. It was quite good, and I do think that these looked quite good on the photos.
Reese, we need to get together and figure out what we're sending that guy. Or painting up for him.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
He may be watching as well.
Well, that's why we're not saying his name.
Right. He occasionally jumps on.
And because
So-
I completely forgot it. But that's not the point. It's
Oh, yeah.
actually cutting strategy. It's not me forgetting stuff.
Yes.
And then the other one, I slammed down and only got 8 points of damage on the first one. The other green one came across and it did like just barely anything extra. But his last plane came across and he rolled a 96 for damage and blew it out of the water. So
Yeah, that parrot, not the parrot head, the bat face only got 8 points of damage on that ship.
yeah, and I only got 8 on it also.
Oh, okay.
So you only had 16 total at that point.
And that first bomb from the parrot head just put that thing in the water.
Yeah. So, another good shot there. Thanks to Murray for the smoke and flames.
And the
Oh, yeah.
destroyers and the converted fishing trawler. Those made the game.
Yeah. So, that there is my prize for sinking Bismarck. That is a 1/2400th, a Gukek model, printed in 1/2400 scale. They're originally designed to be printed in 1/1800, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But they go up to 1/1200 nicely, and they go down to they go down to 1/6000 real nicely also. But yeah, it's he printed it and then spray painted it gold. Another shot of the swordfish. Another shot of Bismarck there. Somebody was running a 2mm game.
Hell yeah, they had they had 2mm irregular figures like I like for my ACW and Napoleonics, and they ran the irregular rules for them.
There you go. So, and then of course Chris Clucky was there, who has always the best table.
I just want to borrow his terrain.
Yeah. And, the miniatures are always amazing. These are 54mm. Now, here's the rabbit layout we had. As you can see, the rabbit village with archers up in the towers, and we had a couple of monks that had been captured.
I really wish I knew where I have a mat that matches the bases for the trees in the village.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it is. I feel like I lent it to somebody and I never got it back. I gotta figure that out.
It still looks good nonetheless.
It does. It looks so much better when everything blends.
And I do like the flowers out in front of each of the little huts.
Mm-hmm.
Quite nice.
They're happy to like those rabbits when they're not beating people to death and flaying them alive.
Right, exactly. More of the dogs. Rabbits. Now, this guy here, he's one of the specialists. He goes around beating people to death with burning candles. Because why not? There's my line of men. The sheriff there, he's the one that just got schooled first round or two. He went in and the rabbits came out and just
We got wrecked, man.
They did him dirty, man. Those Lacomorphs weren't playing, and those were McMurray's men. Yeah, see here, he has 2 wounds and a shock on him in the first turn from grunt rabbits. And we got Circumference over here not doing a damn thing. Or whatever the hell his name was.
Well, I learned from a dear friend of ours. Don't hold anything back unless you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reese basically had 3 units sitting in the middle of that village, not doing anything for the duration of the game.
Mm-hmm. Because the others were just kicking our ass.
Well, somebody had to play the objective.
Yep.
And
I will play the objective.
No,
We were
of my
also
guys.
dumb
Of
and
my
100%.
guys.
We also were dumb and 100%. Instead of having Reese deal 5 separate hands for the rabbits, just gave him 15 cards, which means that the tactical flexibility on the rabbit side was pretty on point.
To be fair,
Well-
I asked you
You
if
did.
you wanted me to do
You did.
3 or 1.
I said I did that.
Yep.
I said I dealt you 15 cards instead of 3 hands of 5. Yeah.
Because I could handle 3 hands. As I said, I'm a solo gamer.
Yeah.
So this here was just kind of a show of size differential. A B-17, a B-24, a B-29, and a B-36. All in 1/600th scale. But just to see, I've been inside a B-29, and it's a big aircraft. But just seeing the B-36 next to it is just... That sucker is huge.
It certainly brings out that late Cold or that Cold War spirit of, no, we're America.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to be.
So here we have a good little furball going with F-86s and MiG-15s.
11 planes there.
Yeah. The F-86s, I think, ended up ruling the day, if I'm not mistaken. Another shot of them there. Again, excellent paint jobs on all of them there, Mr. Reese.
Thank you.
So that's it. That's all of the. Oh, damn it! Wrong button.
Oh, Jets.
It seemed like my rules were mostly appreciated.
Yeah, they were a big hit.
Had some good criticism too. I'm not going to say that everybody was just sunshine and unicorns. But,
Right. Well, and there was some good criticism, and then there was also some grumbling. But
oh well,
you're always going to have someone grumbling because they didn't win or they didn't get to do exactly what
That's
they thought
why-
they should be.
That's
doing.
what happens when you don't have rabbits flying your MiG-7s.
Well,
Exactly.
what I loved, and I facetiously say loved, was when the person on the American team, not flying a B-25, had an issue with the Japanese fighter going in head on the B-25 and what the B-25 could do against the Ki-61. At that point, I was like, dude, it's on your team. It's to your team's advantage. Shut up and play the game.
Right.
Some
Right.
people just want to hear themselves bitch.
Oh, well.
Exactly. So, but I would say all in all, we had a really great time. I did. I'm sure Reese and Murray had a good time. So, yeah, we're hoping to be able to have the date and location locked down earlier for next year, and so we can promote it a little more. I think we ended up with 40 paid admissions. So I'd like to see a little bit more because we had plenty of space and we had plenty of games. In fact, I didn't even run my Battle of Indoor game because
It was frustrating to get stuck up in that second floor. Nobody knew we were up there,
yeah.
which was frustrating because then all the people running games downstairs left, and then all the people who were there trying to play just kind of left.
Yeah.
Kind of like not having sessions was killer.
I
Yeah.
think besides us, everybody was wrapped up by 3:00.
Correct, which is not great, but not. I mean, we got to figure out a way to put sessions in there because that's how people know. Okay, games are still going on. There's a game scheduled for this time, right?
Right.
Like, okay, I know I can be here at 4:00 and play a game because Reese is putting on, a Korean War jet game, and McMurray's got, fucking Victorians on dinosaurs shooting at aliens or something.
Right.
And it gives people that structure because what wound up happening was you put on a game, you play your game, and then when you were done, your players just kind of stood there because everybody else was playing their game, and there was nobody ever had an idea of, well, okay, when is that game going to end?
Yeah. What's next?
So it kind of just turned into, okay, now these 4 to 6 people are just kind of standing here bored, waiting for a game, hoping that the next game that pops up is something that they want to play. Which isn't always the case. Some people don't like historical stuff. Some people don't like air combat or naval combat.
And
Some
course,
people
those
don't like
are
2
wrong,
millimeter.
But
Some people don't like what?
2 millimeter.
Yeah, assholes. Some people refuse to play with things that are smaller than action figures. I don't get it, but whatever.
Also, we had people looking for the 2024 games. Mattapan was asked for specifically 5 or 6 times. I got asked probably twice when I was running away because it was on the website.
Yes. Yeah. Because the game schedule for 2024 is what was on the website because there was not a game schedule for 2025.
Correct.
And people like knowing what's going to be there so they can, look forward to what they got. If they got limited time, they can look at when the games they want to play are being played and then specifically go for that. But anyhow, it was a great time. The people who are there had a blast. Hopefully we can get details going out a little bit earlier next year so that we can start so we can start generating some excitement and getting it on people's schedules a little earlier.
right. So the next gaming event that I'm gonna be going to will be May the 4th, which is actually going to be played on May the 3rd. And,
I will be in Kansas City that weekend, but not the game.
Yeah. Well, isn't that to be flying to Hawaii?
No.
Oh,
That is for my mother's graduation.
your mother's graduation. What is she graduating from?
Master's program.
Outstanding.
So
Outstanding.
she went back.
Um,
She went back to school after I got out of school. So
Well, good for her. That's excellent. That's excellent.
So it may be a situation where I can meet y'all at tabletop or something on Sunday, but not
Yeah.
gonna be there on Saturday.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I'd like to get with you at some time, and maybe we can get together on Sunday for lunch
Yeah, for sure.
before we head back this direction.
I would say early Saturday morning, but Friday night, Shenandoah is playing the ranch, so I kind of have to be there for that.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Understandable.
that caught me off guard too.
Yeah. So, well, congratulations to your mom. What is she getting her master's in?
Something mental health related. That
Fair enough.
um,
Fair enough.
so
Congratulations to her. So, and then after that, the first weekend of June is DICON in the St. Louis metro area. Now that's the annual game convention for the Big Muddy Historical Gaming Group, right? McMurray? Hello? Did we lose him?
we may have.
Actually, I do see you there. Yes, the rabbits did have rigged dice. Definitely had hair of the dogs. Not quite sure who you're asking. Who could that be? So I'm not sure.
He was asking about the 2 mil stuff. That was me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because me and Mike said 2 mm. My eyes can't see them and my fingers can't pick them up. Oh, air and naval. Yeah, that was
Oh,
any three of us could be doing air and naval. And for those that don't like it, I mean, I know you don't, Hexy, but nobody's perfect, right? I don't like Civil War. He doesn't like air and naval. It's all good. We love each other all the same. So maybe McMurray is on mute on his side, and we just don't know it.
Can you guys hear me?
We can now.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a call. My apologies.
Okay. That's okay. What I was asking was the DICON in St. Louis.
Yes,
Or the St.
first
Louis
weekend
metro
in June.
area. Yeah, first weekend of June. That is the Big Muddy game historical gaming group's annual thing, right?
Yes, it's one of them.
Okay. So, I'm planning on being there. Depends on a lot of things as to whether I will be there or not. But my plan currently is to be there. As to what I'm going to run, I'm not sure. I'll be looking to run something. I'm just not quite sure what it's going to be. I might start prepping for Ocean Thunder. See how that goes over.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
There's usually a fair number of people there. Most of about half of the convention is like role-playing groups and little booths off to one side. But then there's also always a good number of people playing like Flames of War and Bolt Action.
Yeah.
And then anywhere from like 6 to 8 to 10 tables of big muddy guys putting on historical stuff.
Outstanding.
Which is pretty fun to see. I think I'm going to try. I might try and do Ancients at Daikon. I'm not sure. We played some, excuse me, Lion Rampant yesterday night with Ancients.
Yeah.
And it was quite entertaining, to be honest with you.
Cool. What scale did you do that in?
28,
Oh wow.
which was challenging because the base unit size in that game is 12. So you need some figures.
Yeah.
But we did it with some Egyptians and Canaanites, which was fun. So we had a good time with that. 3 units of 12 on each side, painting up more now, paced up a whole bunch more figures, primed up a whole bunch more figures. I'm actually 3D printing some Egyptians from War Games Atlantic. That should be pretty fun. But yeah, so it's fun. We played it. It was rather simple, which was nice. It was easy to pick up on. And I have a bunch of. I made a bunch of terrain. That's just real simple MDF.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern, North African stuff lends itself very well to that. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. But either way, quite fun.
So, yeah, that's the next 2 big gaming events that I've got going for me here in the not too distant future.
Well, in a month after that, you got J3.
J3 and Battles and Brews.
In Battles and Brews, yes.
So, both of which are always a good time.
Correct.
So,
I'm trying to get off for Tacticon this year. That would be pretty delightful, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It was fun last year.
Kevin keeps posting, that they're getting more stuff coming, more stuff signed up, more stuff coming. So, yeah. Hopefully it works out. That would be quite awesome.
I think my super glue has gone off because it is not immediately binding. Which is a pain in the ass.
Accurate.
Come on. Stick, damn you, stick! So what are you going to be working on now, Reese?
Well, not painting airplanes for a while.
Right.
Why not?
What'd you say?
Why not?
I'm a little burnt out from little things like that.
Oh, jeez.
Now, give me a couple of weeks. I'll be back on, but I need a break.
Oh, okay.
And in those weeks, I'm going to finish my Tyranid army. So I've got 2 boxes of Gene Stealers to do, couple of 3 Leapers, and then a Winged Tyranid Prime. So
Damn, man. Reese said, forget this month's mortgage. We're buying some Tyranids.
oh, I got them like mostly used on eBay for nothing.
I'm just tugging you nuts, man.
Yeah, well, don't tug them too hard.
Quit buying fucking Tyranids.
No, I am done. I have what I need. And it's for that little tree campaign in Vietnam that I'm working on.
I'm a big fan.
So we'll see how it goes. Let's just say that bugs don't surf.
Correct. This here is a post locally here of a dude who has the old Spartacus TV show war game. It's a miniatures like Euro game. And then
Yeah.
2 expansions that each have a couple figures in them, and he wants $400 for it. Get wrecked.
What? Get
Yeah. Whatever, that's fine. Good for him. Hope he gets it. Whatever.
come on.
But then after I do Tyranids, I'm not sure what I'll do. I probably need to go through my Mountain of World War II stuff and get a lot of that done.
Oh, your 54s?
Yeah.
That's understandable. I have a just my World War II 28 millimeter collection is very similar in terms of it's kind of one of those. Well, do I have a whole bunch more Germans and Americans that I could paint? Yes. Do I have almost a full company of each in 28 millimeter painted? Yes. Shit.
My problem is what I have painted, most of it's not up to my modern standard. Because I did a lot of them straight out of high school.
Oh,
And
yeah?
frankly, they suck.
Oh, baby.
So,
That'll happen.
because, I mean, guys like this, where it's just block painted.
Toss
All you gotta
a,
do is throw a wash on them and you're good to go.
toss a wash on
I
them and see
know.
how they look. Might as well do it and see what it looks like. I'd imagine they probably won't look too bad.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're probably imminently fixable.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying I got a lot of work to do to get World War II back up and running. And then I need to finish my Bocage terrain. And I'd like to get my Japanese and my Marines all done.
Yeah.
Your jungle
he's,
trees?
What?
Oh, he's got plenty of jungle trees.
I know.
He's got those in spades, man.
I think you got them in Kansas City.
He did. He did.
Zing!
Hey-o.
Whopping $3.
We need to figure out a way to do another silent auction at March to Victory. That was shit hot.
I would like to know who brought those jungle trees.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Greg and Ashley?
I don't think so. They walked away with my trenches.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But whoever, if you can prove to me that you brought those trees, and you know specifically what kind of box, well, there's a specific special kind of box that came in, part of them, I will give you a $20 bill because I appreciate those trees so much. So, if you're listening and you're in the Kansas City area,
Percy says wash and highlights, get milking those gnomes. Definitely.
I'll do it.
Yeah, because I want to see your Japanese guys get et in the face by raptors and gene stealers.
Oh yeah. What really happened on Ramery Island?
Exactly. Of course, what I'm working on is going to be using these guys. My 1/2400 scale Star Trek ships.
Nice.
Um, I've got, like I said, I've got a good print of Excelsior, but I had a bad print of Excelsior where the back didn't print properly. So what I'm doing and what I'm complaining about is the glue not sticking. Is I'm attaching the warp nacelle underneath the dish, so it's going to be similar to an Excelsior version of the Reliant. I think that'll look kind of cool. So um, I might have to end up pinning it, which will be a pain in the butt because I don't do pinning very well. But I also got the D7, the movie style D7, and also the original size Bird of Prey. On Thingiverse, there's a guy, I think it's Captain Mojo, um, has all of the FASA models done in 3D. So like they've got the Northampton, he's got the Northampton, which I always thought was kind of a cool looking ship. Just all kinds of different starships that reminds me of my first, well, technically my first Hex Encounter game, because the Star Trek, the FASA Star Trek Starship Simulator, whatever it was called, was originally a Hex Encounter game, and then they started producing the white metal miniatures. So not only was my first Hex Encounter game, but it was the first miniature game that I owned. So it was pretty cool all in all. And McMurray said he's working on Ancients. Always fun. I've got 10. Are they 10mm? I got 10mm Romans around here somewhere.
The only thing about Ancients, they can get pretty old.
Yeah.
I am 28 millimeter Ancients. The nice thing about Ancients is that most of them are dog easy to paint. Egyptians are silly easy to paint.
Yeah.
So I prime them white. Then I basically just slop skin tone, like skin speed paint on everything other than the cloth.
Right.
Hit wood, bronze. Most of the Egyptians have the little hair scarves on. So I'll go back and clean up and maybe strengthen the edges on the white, wash it, and they usually look pretty damn good. Obviously, some people get some extra colors, but that's most of it. And then the Canaanite guys that I've been doing are also pretty damn simple. I mix up the skin a little bit more, as well as I tend to kind of start with one brown, and I work in another brown into the paint palette on it so that I get a nice shade and scale of browns through cloaks. and robes and tunics and whatnot. So you get a really nice mix, and it's an easy way to kind of make all that happen and not look super universal and also not super laid out, which is kind of nice. I'll be right back again.
So obviously you failed. You're not going to buy miniatures in 2025.
Oh, it starts again. We're going convention to convention.
That's good stuff.
I'll be all right.
Come on.
So according to the internet, whatever that's worth, these are infestation nodes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means, but that's cool. All I know is it's something icky for a Marine to step in.
Right.
Trying to figure out if I'm going to do Fistful of Lead or if I'm going to do 5-core. Because the bug hunt rules are also kind of halfway in that system. So it'll be pretty easy to adapt them.
Now 5-core is that is what grew out of 5 Men from Normandy.
Yes, so it was 5 Men in Normandy, and then it was 5-core. And then after a lot of editing, like can't even tell it's the same system really, then it was 5 parsecs from home. But there's 5 clicks from the borderland. There's 5 kilometers from Leipzig or Leipzig. There's all kinds of ones in there.
Cool. Come on.
Reese, you should just play both.
I might.
It's worth it. You can certainly get yourself different gaming experiences with each one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how I would stat these guys up though in either system, frankly. So I'm still working on that.
Fistful of Lead would be super easy. Are you
Maybe
playing
so.
bigger battles or?
No. Well, here's the thing. I would start it traditionally with about 10 per side, and then I think I'd go bigger battles at the very, very end.
Okay. So for traditional, are you trying to make them be a horde of guys?
I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out. I like grunts for them, but I don't like the fact that they take one hit and they die.
It makes sense. They're bugs.
Mm-hmm.
If you have bigger bugs, then don't make them grunts.
Yeah, I've got big. Well, I'll show you a comparison. I don't know if you're watching or not.
Yeah.
But here's a comparison in size. It's not terrible.
Yeah, they're about waist high.
And well, hang on. Here's a jumper for you. They'll get in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Percy,
Okay,
that's
so
a good idea.
So don't do them as grunts then. That's perfectly fine.
Well, I think I might do like Gene Stealers as grunts, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And then these guys is different.
But then with bigger battles, I'd rank them as like tribal or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that, again, you can get kind of that feeling of just a mass of dudes charging at you.
Well, and I do think they should be D12 on close combat with no ranged abilities. Whatever that is it.
They're all brutes.
Okay, there you go. Or animal, or tooth and claw, or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Animal
you're
is
definitely
very
gonna have them
similar.
with
It
tooth and
gets you
claw.
extra range, and then teeth and claws give you that +1 wound, +1 to hit and close ground.
I want them to be absolutely deadly.
It makes sense. At the same time, though, you gotta remember that. Hang on, I'm taking something that's fluff is out of the 40K universe and trying to mix it in with 18-year-old high school dropouts in 1968.
I don't necessarily want them to be 40K Tyranids. I just want them to be something weird that came out of the jungle. And so if they're a little bit squishy, that's okay. Because I mean, I'm going to be running them against like Marine Recon at first. They're not just going to be a platoon of Marines. So they'll definitely have the range on them. They'll have machine guns, grenade launchers, and stuff like that. And if they can keep them at bay, they'll lay the hurt on them.
Bloopers with flechettes.
Yep.
They did exist.
Oh, I know. Or buckshot rounds.
Like guys just running around with claymores on 5-yard poles. Hell yeah. Something or other. That'd be funnier than shit. Put a claymore on like a pole that's about 10 feet long and just hold it above your head and let it fly. You don't have to worry about backblast when you're underneath.
That's a good way to meet your maker.
That's why you wear a helmet.
But the if the bugs end up winning and pushing the Marines all the way back, I'm going to have basically the trench line with the sandbags and the barbed wire and do it bigger battles with machine gun nests and mortars and stuff, and just wave after wave.
Honestly, you need to have the game then transition to the Tyranids attacking VC tunnels, and then everybody can play as the bugs as the good guys.
I have the tunnel system.
Exactly.
Percy says flamethrowers on space bugs. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, exactly. That or
Napalm strike.
yeah, or think of like an Ontos loaded up with flechettes,
Oh, good lord.
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
or an
Sure.
M45 where you just
Wait a
have
second.
4 guys constantly loading belts of 50.
Or an M551 with one of those big buckshot rounds, the canister rounds.
Yeah,
The Ontos had 6 75 or 105 millimeter recoilless rifles.
105,
God.
Was it 6? I thought it was only 4.
6.
Goodness.
6.
I still want one of those in 1/35th scale. And if I come up with one at a decent price, I will break my rule for it. Just for way.
So, in bigger battles, your tribal, if you make the space bugs tribal, you're gonna have 12 to 16 to a unit.
12 to 16 to a unit for
Bigger battles.
bigger battles. I'm going to need more bugs. I'm going to need a lot more bugs.
Just saying.
Well, I just found a 1/35th scale Ontos.
How much?
27, but $10 shipping. That's a little out of what I want to spend.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like a great kit either.
Who makes it?
Academy, which it looks like. I'm going to check ScaleMates and make sure it's what I think it is. But I think it's an early production Academy. No. Well, maybe not. Hang on. Wrong button. No, it is it looks like it's a 2010. Potentially. We'll see.
Look at that. And here you are thinking that might not have been the best idea.
What?
All I hear is six great big thunderclaps hitting out.
Oh no, I wasn't saying the Ontos was a bad idea. I've always wanted one for Way. Because the Ontos is like quintessential Way.
Fair.
Goodness, that one is $135.
Good Jesus.
See,
Yeah.
that I agree seems a bit unreasonable.
Yeah. I can usually justify $30 on a 135th scale tank.
Yeah, they're huge.
I love them too. I mean, they dominate the table, and the game becomes about the table. Okay, the other ones I'm looking at, they're the same one, or the cheapest one I can find besides that one's going for $80.
Somebody dug a model out of Granddad's basement. Jump on it.
It's from South Korea, though. Shipping may take forever.
Only one way to find out, Reese Poo. Order that half-priced kit.
I'm also thinking Tyranids versus PBRs. Like a SEAL team getting picked up by a SEAL support craft with 2 PBRs supporting. All of a sudden, the jungle just erupts with bugs.
Here's a 3D printable kit, $8.50.
For the STL?
Yep.
The real question, Reese, is will your PBR have that wild little like breech-loaded 60mm mortar that they could essentially just point at anything they wanted to?
Not the one that I've built, but the one I'm working on building, because I'm building a second PBR right now. I'm thinking about putting that in as the deck gun.
That'd be pretty sweet. Either way, the dual 50s in the front would be pretty slick.
Well, the one I've got now has the dual 50s in the front. It's got a 50 caliber on a tripod in the back and a 40mm
Nice.
crank, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Not to mention whatever SEAL team you throw in there with a couple of stoners, and I think I've got a China Lake in the hands of one of my SEALs. So, because why not? I'm always going to get they didn't carry this for that mission or whatnot. I'm shooting bugs in the face with grenade launchers. Shut up and let me play my game.
Right?
Okay, I just found one that's free.
Okay. I might need to look into that. I just found an Ontos Crew for like $16.
It's modeled in 142nd, which means you can get it to 135th easy.
Right.
For those of you who are not familiar, I realize we've been talking about this quite a bit. The Ontos is a U.S. armored vehicle that I feel like probably really only turned or saw combat during Vietnam, but essentially it's a small armored chassis that then has 6 recoilless rifles, 105mm recoilless rifles mounted on a frame above, 3 on each side, and kind of right angles. That could be fired remotely from inside the vehicle. It had to be reloaded from outside the vehicle, but it could be fired remotely, all 6, which is pretty awesome.
It saw its combat debut in the Lebanon crisis when the Marines went in to help save some Americans.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
But I mean, that's small.
That's right. That's it right there.
I guess it saw combat in the Dominican Civil War as well.
Very likely.
And then, of course, it was just quintessential Marine. for
Yep.
Vietnam.
There's a picture of it right there.
Yeah. That's cool. Almost to the point of being too cool for school.
I'm trying to figure out where the closest Ontos to me is. Looks like Fort Sill, Oklahoma might be it.
It's not that far from you.
No, it's not.
About what, 4.5 hours?
Something like that.
I have like probably just under 4 feet of wall for ancients done.
Oh,
Put in a city wall.
nice. You
Like
come
on
march
both
around
sides
it 7 times?
Come here, buddy.
Yes. It's not. So I it's a blots kit, and I got a couple extras as well. But it's kind of cool because the idea is you just put it across a table, and then you've got instead of trying to, make it look like you've got an entire city in the center of a table, you mainly just game a section.
Mhm.
Or in this case, I've got a couple of gates, and then for the backside, a couple of stair chunks, a tower, and a bastion. So a tower that raises above the level of the wall, and then a bastion that's a deeper wall section for any number of things. It's fun. They're really well designed kits, to be honest with you, because they, as opposed to like a lot of walls that places put out, they don't just butt up to one another, and it's not just okay, here's a place where you can put magnets. There's actually pretty solid attachment from one side to the other, so that you have each wall section has a male and a female end.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you keep in mind, excuse me, maintaining those, it works super duper well. And I've only got to, I think the only things I have left to do are the stair chunks, which I have 2 of, so that you have stairs going from ground level to the top of the wall from the backside, and then I need to do the tower, the bastion, and there's a chunk where it's a broken wall section as well. But I did I grabbed end pieces too, so they're not just sitting open, as well as a couple long sections, gate section, an interior and an exterior 30-degree angle, so it's not just a straight wall across. It can kind of jut out and look a little more natural. And I'm looking forward to playing, just games with that on the table, as well as, again, the preponderance of just generic Middle Eastern buildings. Blots had a bunch of bigger ones. I got a bunch of small ones from, I don't remember what little MDF company in the U.S. I got a couple, like 12 packs, I think, from them. And then I got some bigger ones from Blots, as well as I have a desert fort to put on the back side of that wall as a bit of a keep sort of thing. Think Antonine Fortress at Jerusalem sort of stuff. I don't know. I'm excited. I was really pumped to play this a bunch. Oh, I am the only one here. All right. Really pumped
No,
to
you're
play
not.
it a
I'm
bunch.
still here. I'm still here.
There you go. But I wanted to focus on just extra stuff to spruce up my March to Victory games. So I set it aside for the last 3-4 weeks. And then I came back with a vengeance this week and put together a ton of stuff, like all the wall sections, some big houses.
I'm looking forward to seeing it all.
Yeah, and then I've been 3D printing a little scatter to go in there too. So like amphora and baskets and stuff, because you don't have. I'm trying to play Bronze Age stuff. There's not, barrels aren't really a thing. Crates aren't really a thing.
Kill a couple of goats,
Nails,
put them in the street.
yeah, nails weren't as developed at the time. So, especially commercial production of nails, like you would see, that would then enable people to make things like crates and barrels. Mainly also because barrels would be very, very hard to do with bronze hoops. So, either way. Hey, Chris is back.
Yes, I am. Had to let the dog out.
I don't like line rampant is not designed for ancients. I have the unit types that I'm really looking for in there, so that's not bad. But man, I feel like I need to get a copy of Dragon Rampant so I can throw Goliath onto the table.
There you go.
Because I do have that Goliath model that I painted up. And that could be kind of cool. But I also did get my I found that super duper cheap Tamiya Gneisenau kit, Chris. So at some point in time here, I'll also be building a Gneisenau with the refitted twin 15-inch turrets.
Nice.
So I found an STL for Bismarck turrets that scale to 1/700th pretty dang well. And that makes me very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah. That'll be cool to toss onto a table. I haven't been able to do that with like 1/6000th and stuff because that's tough to excuse me, model.
Right.
So that should be good.
Did I tell you I finally got my hands on 75mm pack howitzers?
Oh, for World War II?
Well, and anything after.
Well, fair. Yeah. Yeah, the little airborne guys?
Yeah, but I use them mostly for Marines.
Nice. Outstanding.
I got 2 of them for $30, which was a steal.
Fair.
Most of the time, those are going for a lot more than that, if you can find them. They're usually going 45 to 60 a piece. So,
good Lord.
Yeah. Now they didn't come with any crew, so I got to figure that part out. But
you should have enough.
I
you
get that.
Spare artillery crew, don't you?
I may end up ordering some artillery crew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. So long for no new miniatures, but oh well. I should have not started Googling the 1958 Lebanon crisis.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Because now I want to game it. And I don't really know what the opposition force looks like. I need to look more into that. But it's basically Marines in Korean War uniforms with M1 Garands supported by Patton tanks in the desert.
Makes sense.
I could do that right now.
Yup.
I've got a Patton. I've got those Marines. So anyway,
just need a bunch of Lebanese dudes.
I know it would be historically inaccurate and somewhat racist, but I've got a bunch of Arabs with Mausers. I might just paint those guys up.
Buddy, when was the
1958?
Yeah, you're maybe. I was about to say, if you knock 10 years off that, it's absolutely correct.
It looks like most of the rebels have either Mausers or Lebels or not Chauchats, whatever the other French light machine gun is, and then like Beretta subguns.
Yep.
So it's not that far off.
That's 100% the fact if you were trying to do like the 1948 war. Those would be perfect.
not that far off, and it would be a lot of fun.
It would be cool. It's one of those things you don't see a lot.
No, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was a Marine recon guy. Pretty famous guy. He's like godfather of Marine recon, and he fought in Lebanon in '58. He was on Sean Ryan talking about that. And throwing grenades uphill.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put that on the list of shit I'd like to never do.
You better know how to count. You better know what your fuse length is.
You better also pray that the fuses are actually correct,
Right.
functioning properly.
But a couple of LVTs going down the Middle Eastern street full of Marines would be really cool.
Did they use LVTs?
They use the later models, but who cares? I'm going to
Fair.
throw some LVT4s on there.
Fair. It is also 100% the era of the Marine Corps that liked returning 50% of its budget to the Pentagon every year.
Oh, yeah. Love that the Marine Corps can always pass an audit. You don't spend any of the freaking money. Anyway. I'd also like to get my 20 mil Vietnam project going back up and running. Which is mostly 1964, 1965.
So I just downloaded the STL.
Okay.
The hull is going to be 109.43 millimeters long.
Okay.
And just fits on my build plate.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. You did not have to do that.
It's free. The STL is free.
Well, I know.
I expanded to 117.82. Now I need to jot that down somewhere. I need a pen. There we go. Now I need something to write on.
Wonder how many shots from an Ontos this guy could take. One.
It depends. Is it AP or HE?
Even if it was armor piercing, I think it'd rip
If
right
it's
through
AP
him.
1, if you get him in the right spot.
Yeah.
117.82 on toast. $117.82. I might, if I've got enough resin, you might be getting this on May 4th.
Thank you, sir.
I'll have to hollow it out though, otherwise you're going to be using it to club baby seals.
Understood. Understood.
Let's see here. Let's rotate.
That's a chunk of resin too.
Yeah, it is. Oop, oh, wrong way.
This is just
30. And then we're going to raise it.
I know I keep bringing up Lebanon, but this is just such a vibe. Here's a guy in nothing but frog skin shorty shorts with an M1 carbine with a flash suppressor on it.
Nice.
I gotta build that. McMurray, what's your source on naked 54mm figures? I think we lost him. All green stuff, the shorts on there.
Yeah.
Don't really want to Google that, but
So it would use, without hollowing it out, it's going to use 176 grams of resin.
okay.
It'll take 3.5 hours for just the hull. Obviously, I'm going to have to hollow it out.
I'm sorry. That's a
No,
lot.
don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. I'm the one that's wanting to do this for you.
Right. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Hollow. Let's hollow out. Wall thickness. Yep. Yep. Infill structure none. Infill density. Alright. Start. And of course, it's going to have plugs in it.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to hold on tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to be wrapping up here pretty quick anyway.
Maybe that's what you'll see at March to Victory next year is Beirut 58.
There you go.
Everybody say, wait, what? We were in Beirut in 58?
Surprise!
Yeah. Kind of does fit the vibe that I like.
Yeah.
I don't know if they phased the BAR out yet or not. I'm not talking about the U.S. military. I mean just the Marines.
What is it, baby? You want out? Yeah, I'll let you back out here in a second. All right, let's see. I've hollowed it out. And I've put in a couple of holes. Now, how much is it going to take? Oh, it's down to 52 grams.
There you are.
So, yeah. That'll be easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right now. We're an hour and 40 in.
Understood.
So, guys, thanks for showing up tonight. We should be back next week as normal. If you guys have any thoughts or ideas on what y'all want to chat about, drop me a line or put it in messages or comments, and we'll talk about it. So, until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.